And the York fire is also threatening a large number of protected plants.
Joshua trees all over the Mojave National Preserve are impacted. Fox 5's Les Crittenden spoke with one organization about what we could see in the coming days.
We're probably going to lose hundreds of thousands of Joshua trees.
Trees that are not only found exclusively here in the Southwest, but trees that are protected in California. The Joshua tree is not actually a tree, but rather a yucca plant that is from a subgroup that includes flowering grasses and orchids. Joshua plants grow only 1 to 3 inches a year, according to Laura Cunningham, the California director of the Western Watershed Project, an organization that works to protect and restore watersheds on this side of the country.
It will take a lifetime to get those mature, big Joshua tree forests back. Some are fire resistant, and if the flames are not too hot, they will stump sprout, or they will reseed.
The fire is also threatening the Joshua trees here in Nevada, according to Cunningham.
The Aviquame National Monument, we may be seeing Joshua trees burning there.
The National Monument is considered to be a sacred place by the Mojave and Southern Paiute people. According to U.S. Fish and Wildlife, the plant tends to grow mostly on slopes, ridges, and flat-top hills of the desert. These are some of the trees that are growing along Kyle Canyon Road on the way up to Mount Charleston. The fire, meantime, continues to burn, and resources from the National Park Service, Bureau of Land Management, San Bernardino Fire Protection District are battling the fire. Clark County is on standby.
This is pretty devastating. It will grow back, but it might take decades to see this desert come back.
While the trees are protected in California, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service earlier this year declined to list the Joshua trees under the Federal Endangered Species Act. Les Crittenden, Fox 5 News, local, Las Vegas.